Hello and welcome to video 3 of your training. In this video we're going to cover how to use this trading system, and in the next video we'll give you some real trading examples. To begin with, I want to show you how to set up the charts when you're preparing to trade with this system. I'm going to show it in the presentation here, and then we're actually going to show it in MetaTrader as well so that you have a clear understanding of how to set up your charts and prepare yourself to trade. To begin with, let's talk about that. You need to open a 15-minute chart. The system is intended to be traded on the 15-minute charts. On that chart, you draw a vertical line at the 1400 time, and we're talking Greenwich Mean Time here. So we draw a vertical line at the hour 1400. We draw another vertical line at the hour 1600, and again, Greenwich Mean Time is the time zone that we're using. And then we draw a horizontal line at the high price point of that time frame. And we draw a vertical line at the low price point of the time in between that time frame. So we're going to draw 4 different lines on the chart. Instead of using indicators, we're just going to draw some lines with this system. So just to show a clearer example before we move on and show you this in MetaTrader, we're going to open a 15-minute chart, and then we're going to draw 4 lines on that chart. We're going to draw a vertical line at the 1400 hour, so straight up with just a single click in MetaTrader. I'll show you how to do this in just 1 second. We're going to draw a vertical line at 1600. Again, just a single click. I'll show you how to do that in a second. And we want to draw a horizontal line at the high price point. So in this case, it was 1.34870. We just draw a line there. And we draw another horizontal line at the low price point of the time in between those 2 lines. So again, just a single click. Let's show you this in MetaTrader, and then we'll move on and talk about the rules of trading. Okay, so just to show you in MetaTrader itself, when you open a chart window, we've applied our white template to it by right-clicking on the chart, selecting template, and clicking the white charts that we saved before. Now I just want to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to find the 1400 hour on this chart just to show you how to do this. Preferably you would be doing this just after this time frame occurred and setting up your orders at that time. But here we go, we've got the hour 1400 and we've got the hour 1600 right there. So we need to draw a vertical line. So we're going to click the button up here to draw a vertical line. And on the black line above 1400, we're just going to center our little cursor there and click. And now we have a vertical line. And again, we need to do this again at 1600, so we click the vertical line button again up here. And on the next black line right there, we're going to click, center our cursor and click. And this should be on a 15-minute chart, not a 1-hour chart, so I'm just going to switch that. And then just scrolling back. There's our lines 1400, 1600, and I switched it to a 15-minute chart, which is what you should be trading with this system. And then we need to draw some horizontal lines. To do that, we click the horizontal line button right up top here. And then we take it over here and we just center the crosshair of this cursor over top of the top price point in between those 2 time frames, which is this. And then we do it again, draw a line at the bottom, and the low price point in between these 2 lines was right here. So now we have 4 lines on our charts. We have a vertical line at 1400, a vertical line at 1600, and then we have a horizontal line at the top price point. In this case, it was 1.43302, and we're looking at the Euro CHF in this case. You wouldn't actually trade that chart with this system, but it gives an example. And then we have another vertical line or horizontal line at the low price point in between this time frame, which is 1.43152. So once we have that, we're then ready to learn how to trade with this system. Okay, so now that we have our chart set up, we need to look for the trade. To do this, we calculate the distance between the top horizontal line and the bottom horizontal line, and we're going to calculate that in pips. So all you would do is subtract the high price point from the low price point. And if there is less than 50 pips between the 2 horizontal line, it's an opportunity to trade. If there is more than 50 pips between the 2 horizontal lines, skip trading that particular currency pair this day. What we're looking for is we want to trade the breakouts on a consolidation. So the price has consolidated a bit. It hasn't moved more than 50 pips in that a particular time frame, that means it's about to break out in one direction or the other, or it very likely is. So let's just take a look at a couple of examples of what I mean. Here's our charts like we just set up in MetaTrader. We've got our vertical lines at 1400 and 1600, and we've got our horizontal lines at the low price point and the high price point. So to calculate whether we want to trade here or not, we subtract the high point, 1.34870, from the low point, 1.34331, and in this case that equals 0.00539, or 53.9 or 54 pips if you wanted to round it up, which is more than 50 pips, so we don't want to trade this day. We leave this trade alone. Looking at the next example, here's another chart where we've done the same thing. We've drawn our horizontal lines and our vertical lines, and again we subtract the high price point, 1.06225, from the low price point, 1.05877, and in this case that equals 34.8 pips, or 0.00348, so 34.8 pips, which is obviously less than 50, so at this point we would make the trade. When we find an entry signal, which we just did, we place a buy limit order at the high price point, and we place a sell stop order at the low price point. And when we set these orders, we're also going to set a stop loss. The stop is going to be set to the same level as the distance between the high and low. So for example, if we calculated there was 34 pips between the high horizontal line and the low horizontal line, our stop loss would be set to 34 pips. Our take profits with this system are going to be set somewhere in between 40 and 80 pips. It depends a little bit on the currency pair and the distance between the high and low point. If it's closer to that number 50, it's more likely to break out and move more than 50 pips, so you might want to use a higher take profit level. If it's less than 50 pips, closer to 30 pips in between the two lines, then you might want to use a number like 40. You'll get a feel for this as you practice with the system. When you're just starting out, if you just want to use a number like 50 pips as your take profit level, that's conservative enough and it will work. And then obviously, since we're setting stop losses and take profits, once we're in the trade, everything is automated. We cancel the other order, so we've set our order points ahead of time. The currency pair has moved in one direction or the other and broke out. One of our orders is triggered. The first thing that you should do is cancel the other order. You wouldn't want to be in two orders if it for some reason turned around. And then we let the trade run. Either the trade will move in your favor and hit its take profit, or it won't. Usually, hopefully, you're hoping that you'll hit your take profit level and you'll have a profitable trade. But if it went the other way, obviously you'd stop out. We've set both a take profit level and a stop loss. So all you need to do once a trade is entered is just let it run. And with that out of the way, let's move on. You should move on to video 4, and I'm going to show you some real examples of how to set up a chart when you're looking for these trades, and then show you examples of what happens after we've set our order points and the trade is actually entered.